Yes, well, good evening, my people. It's a pleasure to have you once again on another edition of the Jagbajantis Show. Thank you for connecting tonight wherever you are connecting from. Mo kí yín kú kalẹ̀. Mo kí ọmọdé, mo kí àgbàlagbà. Mo kí ọkùnrin, mo kí obìnrin o. Mo kí gbogbo orí adé tó wà níkàlẹ̀, mo kí àwọn ìjòyè, pàápàá jùlọ mojúbà Ìdùmarè tó mú kó ṣeé ṣe fún gbogbo wa láti tún péjọpọ̀ lálẹ́ yìí. Kábíyèsí Èdùmàrè ọba tó ní kọ́kọ́rọ́ ọjọ́ lọ́wọ́, òjì kùtùkùtù fàṣọlá búra ọba mi jìnwìnjìnwìn ìlẹ̀kẹ̀, agbọ́n rí kọjá ọgbọ́n, ìbà ẹni náà tí kì í bẹ́nikẹ́ni ṣàpapín ògo Ọ̀ọ̀ni àgbà tó ní gbogbo ilẹ̀ ayé. Òun ló ní fò kí n nìṣó, òun ló fún mi lóhùn. Ojúbà orí mi náà o, orí owó, orí ọlá, orí oyè, orí ògo, orí òkìkí, kí bá mi ṣe lálẹ́ yìí. Thank you all for connecting. My bro Toluwalashe Waterton, thank you for connecting tonight. Justice Alayo, èèyàn mi tó sure. Yes, my brother Gabriel, you are early tonight. Yeah, thanks for coming. My madam is there. You said the audio is not okay. What's wrong with the audio? Let me know what is wrong with the audio, please. BCRO, yes. Good to have you again, my sister. Egbon Godwin, thank you for connecting again tonight. I hope you all read the disclaimer I put on the ad. I said only connect tonight if your mind carry am. So, and I hope everyone here tonight are prepared for whatever they are going to hear. Mo kàn sí ní kí n tún béèrè ni o kó tó di ń pa lọ jìnnà o. My brother Tosin Jodesh, employer of labour ni ẹ. Thanks for connecting tonight. Alright, gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìṣe wa, we will get to the commercial room and shout out our sponsor, Yeti's Kitchen, for bringing this wonderful show to our listening pleasure. And when we return, we will get straight into the show. Mbo, ẹjẹ ń wọbẹ, Yeti's Kitchen, ó yá gbé sókè.
Yeti's Kitchen, ilé oúnjẹ àrà ọ̀tọ̀ tó kalẹ̀ sílùú Manchester. Chilled out Afro and English fusion bar with great food, music and movies. Kò sí oúnjẹ tẹ́ fẹ́ tẹ́ ò bá lọ́dọ̀ wọn. Serving the best fusion of African and English delicacies bíi jollof rice, ẹ̀wà àgọ̀yìn, ẹ̀fọ́ rò, jerk chicken, suya, ayamashi, goat pepper soup, bọ́gà lóríṣiríṣi àti àwọn ọtí ọlọ́kan òjọ̀kan. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ṣe fẹ́ sí ni, eating, take away or delivery gbogbo ẹ̀ ló bá wọn lára mu. Oríṣiríṣi ètò ìgbádùn ni wọ́n sì ṣe lọ́dọ̀ wọn bíi movie night, live jazz music, game night àti yoga play area for children to relax while you eat. Their opening times are Monday to Sunday, 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. Address wọn 299 Liverpool Road, Eccles, Manchester, M130QM. Telephone 0161 706 0062 tàbí 074-603-53448. Ẹ tún lè kàn sí wọn lórí email wọn ní food@yetiskitchen.com. For more information, visit their website www.yetiskitchen.com. Yeti's Kitchen, the best Afro-British restaurant in Manchester.
Yes, so we're back, and that is Yeti's Kitchen, the sponsor of this show. Let me quickly tell you a few things about Yeti's Kitchen. Let me quickly bring a few announcements to you from Yeti's Kitchen. You've all heard about the new book put together by Chef Yeti. the CEO and owner of Yeti's Kitchen. The title of the book is African Vegan, and the book contains easy and tasty vegan recipes from Nigeria and around the world. It's a step-by-step cooking recipes that you all can, follow and benefit from. It will improve your diet and also your overall health. So please check out this book. You can get one by contacting them on their website or give them a direct call. You said no audio. Did you say no audio? Oh, maybe you need to check your connection. Yeah, the audio seems okay. Also, Yeti's Kitchen now delivers UK wide, so you can order from any part of the UK and you will get your order. Prior to now, they only serve people in Manchester and the surroundings, but now they cover the whole of UK, Ayiti, Lujara, Wonsen. And also for people visiting from maybe Nigeria and you don't have pounds to spend and you want to order from them, they now accept Naira. You can pay with your Naira on their website. So it's part of their effort to include everybody. So big shout out to Yeti's Kitchen. I've seen few people connect. My brother Michael Adipo, thank you for joining, sir. Yes, so my sister Ife, you made it. Ajẹ́pá àwọn prayer hooligans ṣiṣẹ́ nìyẹn, a ti dà wọ́n síta pé kọ́ lọ máa scabash. Yeah, it's good to have you. Àbá mi èèyàn ńlá ọlọ́wọ́ dán. That's my producer, ladies and gentlemen. Lekan Shobi is on the show as well. For those of you who have been following my music career and you've listened to some of the songs I have done in the past, that is the man behind it. Lekan Shobi has been producing my song ever since our path crossed, and he's a wonderful person. Good to have him on the show tonight. Right. Ṣé ìgbọ́n rí ẹ̀rí music tí mò ń play mood burúkú mo wà lálẹ́. Mo bá kí n gbọ́ tí mo mí kanlẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣáà ní kí n go deeper kó máa kanlẹ̀ dòó. Right, I want you all guys to put yourself in a very comfortable position. Ẹni tó bá ní nǹkan tó fẹ́ mu ẹ bù sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́, ẹ bá ní nǹkan tẹ́ fẹ́ máa wọ́n jẹ ẹ bù sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́, ẹ bá dẹ̀ ní àwọn èèyàn tẹ́lẹ̀ máa fọwọ́ pa náà lára ẹ gbé wọn sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́, ẹ gbé wọn sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́, ẹ gbé wọn sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ o. Tòrálẹ̀ yìí máa ṣe kí ni? Ó máa kí n gbá kan jùgbọ́n. Right, the topic of the show is sexual fantasies. Sexual fantasies. And as you can tell, it's another forbidden topic. And àwọn ibi tó bá le tó bá tight yẹn àwọn pẹ̀lú mi máa ń fẹ́ wọ̀ yé ṣé n go deeper ni. Àwọn ibi tó bá há àwọn ibi tó bá tight ìyẹn pẹ̀lú mi máa ń fẹ́ wọ̀ And that's why I decided, you know what, ẹ jẹ́ ká tún tọwọ́ bọ ilé náà, ká tọwọ́ bọ̀, ká finger ẹ̀. Alright, let me come back home. So something happened last week. Was it last week? A certain Nigerian musician came public with a sexual fantasy, and then he set the social media on fire. People went really crazy. He got attacked right, left and center. On gbèsèpè, oríṣiríṣi nǹkan. And I thought, you know what, this is what discussing. Ṣó ṣe ń tó wrong ni? Ṣó sọ ń tó wrong ni? Kí ló fa wàhálà gan? Let's look at it. I know we have a problem, especially in our society, in our culture, and also when we look at religion, and as such we hide away, we run away, we shy away from several important issues. Not like those things don't exist, but we just try to cover them up, or we try to walk away from them, or we try to be silent about them. And when we take any of these options, we think we've gotten rid of that situation. Hell no. It is just hypocrisy. And oftentimes things like this that we don't discuss, that we don't talk about, are what we get wrong, and that oftentimes affect people negatively. And when they find themselves in that situation, they're ignorant, they don't know what to do. So we're getting to an age now, we're getting to a time now where taboos are eroding. You know, people are beginning to look at things in the eye, especially, you know, all these things we've been told while growing up. People are starting to question things now. We're now in the age of knowledge, where people don't just want to accept status quo. People now want to, you know, ask why. People now want to dig into how some of these things came about. Who decided this? You know, who said this is how we should do it? And if it doesn't make sense, they want to change their position. And oftentimes many of us who are rigid, who are parochial minded people, many of us who don't want to shift our mindset from what we've been, you know, told in the past, whether it's right or wrong. We are always the first to attack these people. We are always the first to condemn them to hell, and you know, and stuff like that. It boils down to ignorance, you know, and that's why on this show we haven't done badly so far. We have, you know, touched some sensitive topics. I've put my reputation online and everything I have to deal with certain topics that people run away from, which tonight's topic is also part of it. Unfortunately or sadly, this thing that we hide away from, many of us get involved with them privately. So you know, practical life yẹn kò necessary, you know. Gbogbo nǹkan táwọn èèyàn ń gbé kọ̀rọ̀ ṣe, bọ̀ ẹ máa dé ta gbangba, ẹ máa sọ pé báyìí ni gbogbo yẹn ò necessary. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tú aṣọ lójú gbogbo ẹ̀, unless let's discuss it. So I'll repeat, I hope everybody on this platform tonight are ready for whatever they're going to hear. I'm not here to rub your religious, to massage your religious ego, especially those of you who are religious fanatics on the show. I'm actually here to expose how, religion as a tool of control has actually hindered many of you or many of us from enjoying life or living life to the fullest. There's so many things that have been said to us when we were young. We've been raised badly. We've been told things without explanations. We are living in that bubble of restrictions. Don't do this, don't do that. The one that they think you will query, they wrap it with God says, Holy Spirit says, Jesus says, Paul says, and all these things like that, and they threaten you with hell and heaven and stuff like that. It's all nonsense. It's all nonsense. I've said it to people who are close to me before, and I'm going to say it publicly again. Téèyàn kan bá dé lálẹ́ yìí nísìn tó lóun ti lọ òun ti dé, kò sí nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ heaven, kò sí nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ hell. Òun ti lọ, òun ti dé, òun ti lọ, òun ti bọ̀, àwọn ti lọ wá, kò sí nǹkan kan tó ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. I ask you tonight, would you still behave the way you are behaving? That is a question for each person listening to me tonight to answer. Ìwà tó ń hù yẹn, ṣé wàá ṣì continue ṣì máa hù? Àwọn kankan tó ń fẹ́ ṣe yẹn, will you do them now or not? If you will be sincere, wàá rí wípé the fear of hell and the fear of not missing heaven is what is making many of us to live this kind of righteous life. And this is what I call conditional holiness, aka hypocrisy. Kò sẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ṣe normal, but because you don't want to go to hell, you want to go to heaven. That's why you are forcing yourself to live the kind of life you are living now. Tójú bá pòfin wàá ṣìwà wò, and that is a fact that I want us to agree with tonight. So kí là ń tẹra wa fún? Why are we always scared to ask questions, to query things? Why are we always scared to think critically? Even despite things that we see around us, people who come out to tell you all these things, when they falter, when they fall, when you find them in these things, there's still not enough reasons for you to wake up and think, so I'm not here to dwell on religion or whatever thing like that. I'm just here I'm just mentioning how it has impacted many of us, and also our cultural upbringing, how it has hindered many of us or conditioned us to be who we are today. what you think you are today, you might be surprised is not who you are, but what you have been made to believe you are, the way you have been conditioned, is who you are today. Only few people have taken themselves out of that model and remodeled themselves, into who they really are. And to go far in life, to be happy in life, to reach your full potentials in life, you must first of all know who you are. You must define yourself, not how you have been defined, or not how they have tried to, make you see yourself. You must see yourself for who you are. You must break yourself down. Know your temperament, know what you like, know what you hate, know what you enjoy, know how you want things. Every details of your life you must know. That is how you'll be able to plan your life, plan the course of your journey in life, know who to be friends with, who not to be friends with, who should be your partner in life, who should not be your partner, what job you should do, and things like that. It will help you to shape your life that suits you. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ lónìí ayé aláyé là ń gbé. We're not living our lives. We've been shaped to live the way we are living today. Kò tẹ́ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ lọ́rùn, ṣùgbọ́n they lack the will to break out and live how they want to live and be who they want to be. They are concerned with what will people say, báwo ló ṣe máa view mi, báwo ló ṣe máa perceive mi, kí ló máa sọ, and things like that. And many are just going through the motions. Many are in relationships they are not happy in. They're just enduring, not enjoying it. Because at the end of the day, they found themselves that they are in a relationship with somebody they are not compatible with. But then they can't go out because kí làwọn èèyàn máa sọ. So they're just stuck there. So every one of us must come to a point in life where you must know who you are. When you know who you are, you understand yourself perfectly, then you will live a happy life. You will make choices that gives you fulfillment in life, and not just follow. So tonight we're looking at sexual fantasies. Fantasy by definition is just forming mental image. You can call it daydreaming, things that don't exist, and you are just using the power of your mind to bring them into your consciousness. Then when we put sexual to join that word, when we have that compound word, sexual fantasies, it simply means any mental image that you form that arouse you, that's sexual fantasy. So anything you think about, that gives you that sexual arousal, that is sexual fantasy. And like I said, it's more of a taboo to even be having this discussion. I know it's like it's a territory that many will run away from, but we will only be deceiving ourselves if we say many of us are not practicing this. I can't tell so why not, let's talk about it. Let's liberate ourselves, let's educate ourselves, let's know what we need to know, and let's improve our lifestyle. So today, it's easy to talk about all these things and you know, ayé tí ń fẹ́lẹ́ sí kò wúwo mọ́ láti lè sọ gbogbo àwọn nǹkan báyìí, you know, and so it's not hard, and I would, you know, want you to be free tonight and drop comment. Nobody will judge you. Nobody will start looking at you somehow. We're all matured here. We're all adult. I mean, at my own age, tí n bá ṣe ń bẹ̀rù pé mi ò fẹ́ sọ nǹkan báyìí nítorí àwọn èèyàn máa rún nǹkan báyìí, then kí ni ìyàwó ti tán fún mi nìyẹn. If I can't say my mind, if I can't express myself at this age of my life, and then is a sad case. So I want you guys to be, you know, really free tonight, and let's enjoy ourselves tonight. So like I said, sexual fantasy is any mental image, thought or story that turns you on, you know. Gbogbo àlà ń jáde là ń rí àwọn èèyàn, especially summer tó ti fẹ́ dé báyìí, wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí máa package gbogbo àwọn kìíní without conscience. Wọ́n á rú gadé àyà tó yẹ pé máa wò pé báyìí lẹ́ni ìṣe ń mí kan báyìí. Wọ́n á fún gbogbo ẹ̀, wọ́n á rọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀, wọ́n á tighten gbogbo ẹ̀ up tó máa di bí ẹrù kalẹ̀ báyìí. Men are moved by what they see. So immediately tó bá ti rí nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn sìn, orí ẹ̀ máa tán náà ni. Wàá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí máa wo oríṣiríṣi nǹkan. So those mental image that you conjure, that you put together, and then leads to a point of, you know, arousal, is what we call sexual fantasies. So ṣe ti rí nísìnyí pé kò sí ẹnikẹ́ni tó lè escape discussion lẹ́sìn, because àtọkùnrin àtobìnrin ló máa ń ro nǹkan. Everybody does. Ṣùgbọ́n lómi tó bá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ Jesus irọ́ má jẹ́ lọ́bẹ̀ ọ̀gá farabalẹ̀, kò sí kankan tó ṣe ẹ́, yẹn normal, you are normal, èèyàn ni ẹ́. And we'll look at all the various kinds of sexual fantasies that are available, the ones that are okay and the ones that we think that are a bit extreme, and we'll tell you what is the most important thing you should take away from this discussion tonight. So like I said, we all have one thing or the other that, you know, turns us on after bá fẹ́ parọ́ lókù. Obìnrin míì tó bá kàn ti rọ́kùnrin tó ga báyìí ó máa wet ni. Àwọn obìnrin míì tó bá ń rìn báyìí wọ́n ń wòkè, wọ́n ń wojú ọkùnrin o. Ibi bọ́ọ̀jì eré àwọn sàlẹ̀ yẹn bẹ̀ lọ́ máa ń wò pé abẹ́ ló wú kọ́kọ́ yìí, wọ́n ti wet. Obìnrin míì bicep ọkùnrin ló máa ń wò àti structure ẹ̀, wọ́n bá ti rí pé máa wo muscle, máa wo àyà, máa wo everything bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, ó ti wet. So bẹ́ẹ̀ náà làwọn ọkùnrin, àmọ́ àwọn obìnrin bá ó wọṣọ, ó ṣe everything, àti naked yẹ, àti ro oríṣiríṣi nǹkan, àti ka mọ́kànnà, àti gun mọ́bì kan, àti rọ mọ́bì kan, àti ṣe báyìí, àti ṣe tọ̀hún fún, all in our head. All these things are what? Fantasies. So for religion, people who are into, you know, deep into religion, they will tell you, erukeru nìyẹn o, ó ti ṣe gbá, ó ti ṣe kankan bẹ́ẹ̀, and you know, but at the end of the day, tó bá tún dọ̀la wọ́n á tún ṣe again, tó bá tún dọ̀la wọ́n á tún ṣe again. tó bá yà wá rò pé àwọn ní problem wọn máa jẹ́wọ́ ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ all the time, máa jẹ́wọ́ ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ all the time. Ẹ fara yín balẹ̀. Nothing is wrong with you. The feeling, sexual feelings is innate. Adáwa mọ̀ bí ènìyàn ni. And it's not your fault that you have that built into your core. That's how we are wired as human beings. And it's not a mistake. Because it's one of the reasons why we exist. So don't feel bad. Don't knock yourself when what is natural to you begins to play up and start thinking that you were abnormal. I'm a ṣàlàyé tí ò normal ń bẹ, but I'm just building it gradually. But I need to put this foundation down so everybody á lè relax lálẹ́. Nothing is wrong with you. Kọ́tà dẹ̀ sọ lálẹ́ kì í ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀. Tí wọ́n bá dẹ̀ ṣì believe pẹ́ṣẹ̀ ni, good luck to you. I'm not here to change your mind or whatever. I'm here to tell you what is correct. So this sexual feelings you have is normal as a human being. Kò sí ní problem rárá. And then for people who have gotten married, check inside any of the scriptures and point it out to me where it was prescribed how you should have sex. n pe irú báyìí lẹ ṣe láti lè dúra yín, irú báyìí lẹ ṣe láti ṣe nǹkan kan mẹ́rin. Bring it out in any of the holy books you have, in any of the scriptural books you have. Point it out to me. Mo fẹ́ mọ̀ lálẹ́, maybe I have not come across it. Kò sí. So kókó ibẹ̀ ni wípé you have to come up with how you feel you reach your sexual pleasure in consent, underline, in consent with your partner. Àjọmọ̀ ẹ̀yin méjèèjì ni, kò sẹ́ni tó máa prescribe ẹ̀ fún yín, kò sẹ́ni tó lọ́tọ́rìtì lórí yín láti sọ pé báyìí ni kẹ́ ẹ ṣe bára yín sùn. It's between two consenting adults. Bó bá ṣe rọ̀ yín lọ́rùn bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ṣe fẹ́ ni, style tó bá wù yín ni, ọ̀nà tẹ́ bá fẹ́ gbà ṣe ni, just for you to reach that sexual pleasure. Unfortunately, many people have been built from the start to even hate that word sex. My sister is not yet on the show tonight, but she can testify to this story of somebody back then in Nigeria. They got married, a couple, Christian couple. Anytime tẹ́gbọ́n bá yẹ ti sọ pé ó yá o ká tú nǹkan lẹ̀ o, àǹtí abẹ́ sì máa quote to 1 Peter chapter 2, wọ́n máa quote to Romans chapter kìíní kan. Tá a ti marry ewé gbogbo Bible kòtù wèrè yìí gan. Ẹ̀gbọ́n rẹ̀ aṣá máa endure. Ìgbà tó yá ẹ̀gbọ́n kan náà endure anymore. Kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ gan? Na so ẹ̀gbọ́n enter room one day. Ó yá o àǹtí, ajá nọra ajá fọ́ra wa lẹ́nu. Àǹtí tún gbé báàbù jáde according to Jude chapter. Jude àbí kò fẹ́ dá fún Jude ni? Àbí Jude fẹ́ ṣòfò ni? Bẹ́ẹ̀gbọ́n ṣe gbé kerosene yẹn àti ṣáná tó dà sí gbogbo inú yàrá tó dà sára wọn náà. A máa fọ́ ara lẹ́nu lálẹ́ nísìn ọ̀kí gbogbo káká méjèèjì jóná papọ̀. A máa fọ́ra wa lẹ́nu sí àbí ká jóná kó tó di pé àǹtí panic ó dẹ̀ lálẹ̀. Should it get to that extent? No. Religion ló sọ àǹtí di bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Despite the fact that she's married, she still find it a dirty thing to discuss or to do or to practice. Ibi tó build consciousness ti ẹ̀dẹ́ nìyẹn. Also in our culture, especially many of you can testify to it, you dare not discuss anything sex near your parents. Wọ́n bí ẹ dáa. Tàbá ń wo fíìmù tó bá ti ń ṣá láti kiss gan, wọ́n máa ní rárá ìgbà ẹlọ́mọ àwọn ẹ̀ṣẹ́ ẹ lọ́ bá gbomi wá kitchen. So many of us grew up without knowing things that we should know. Òun lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ ló ṣe àwọn mistake tán ṣe because they were not well put through. Wọ́n sọ fún mi pé wo tọkùnrin bá ti pè é báyìí tó bá ti fọ ọkàn ẹ̀ títí kàbáyìí tó fọ ẹ̀ ayé lára báyìí wá lóyún ni o. No, we don't need to scare people not to do things. We need to educate them. People need to know everything they have to know about a particular topic or issue or situation, and then leave them to make the best decision with the information you've given to them. Don't scare people into a particular kind of lifestyle. You're damaging them. You're damaging them. So many parents today who think, their daughters are virgins and stuff like that, and yeah, they are virgin láti wájú, but wọ́n virgin látẹ̀yìn. And I have proofs. After all, tí wọ́n bá máa check nísìnyí pé ṣó virgin iwájú lọ́ọ́ ti máa verify. And all these kids are doing things, on gbẹ̀yìn wọlé. So it's not right to raise people with fear or scare them into living a kind of life. No, the best way to raise people is to give them full information, to educate them so that they can make the best decisions when they find themselves in that situation. So we have some cultures in Eastern Africa where tọ́wọ́ bá ti ń gúnmú tó ti ń bàlágà báyìí, duty ìyá ni láti kọ́ ọmọ yẹn bó ṣe ń dókò. Wọ́n máa pè dókò, wọ́n á kọ́, wọ́n á fún gbogbo trick, gbogbo technique, gbogbo everything bó ṣe máa satisfy ọkọ ẹ̀. So tó bá ń du ẹ lẹ́ẹ̀kan, ìwọ gan mọ̀ pé yes, orílẹ̀ ayé wa. And that's why some part of that country, àwọn obìnrin wọn ọmọ bá já sọ́wọ́ wọn wà mọ̀ pé àwọn eléyìí ò ní jẹ́ pé báyà kò ìgbà tó bá lọ ń lo gbogbo àwọn àdójọ àti gbogbo nǹkan tó ń kìbọ̀dì tó ń ṣe ẹ̀rù tìyẹn náà kó lé gbogbo yẹn. If you know what to do, o nídìí gbogbo àwọn kayamata àti gbogbo àwọn nǹkan wèrè tó ń tà kiri yẹn. Gbogbo àwọn pussy sweet náà, gbogbo àwọn ọdísìn tẹ̀ ń kó sábẹ́ káàkiri kò necessary tó bá mọ nǹkan tó yẹ kó ṣe. But many are not educated. They're stiff, they're boring, they're just one way. Any other method, ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ni o, irọ́ ni o, fire là ń lọ o, kíní kan ni o. There's even a time a pastor came on social media and said, I still have the video, that gbogbo ọkùnrin that allows their wife to be on top of them when having sex, the Spirit of God says they should tell them that they are going to hell. Bullshit. This is how they have ridiculed this so-called Spirit of God. They attach all kind of nonsense to it, and it's so convenient when you want people to believe you, when you want people to not to question you, when you want people to do what you want them to do, just wrap around the name of God or wrap around the Holy Spirit or anything like that. That is still that culture of fear, and is absolutely wrong. Let me also mention that the philosophers of those days who put together all these books, who put together all this body of knowledge, they understood then that the most important aspect of any human is their belief system, what they believe in. And they know that to own a person, to rule over a person, just be in control of their belief. And so when they put together all these things, it was easy for them to make people behave in a certain way. It was easy for them to put mark, to put lines, to limit people in thought and in behavior. And this is what many are still dealing with today. But there should come a point in our lives where you would say, wait a minute, you must come to a point in your life where you will be matured enough to query everything that you have been taught from young. Àwọn tó jẹ́ lámbà bẹ́ẹ̀ sọ́dànù. That many people are practicing a lie that would not make it to become truth. That a lie has been in practice for donkey years will not change it to truth. If something is a lie, it is a lie, and it remains a lie. So we must get to a point where we will liberate ourselves. Many people are not living to the fullness of their potential. They are not enjoying life because they are living in restriction and bondage. Mashumato ó ti sún ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ sínú ìdí àti ẹ̀wọ̀n. It's not until they put chains on your hands and feet that you are in bondage. When you are mentally in captivity, when you are mentally in bondage, then you are in chains. So you have to liberate yourself mentally. You have to free yourself. So no matter what your fantasy is, no matter how you think and everything like that, I'm telling you, you are perfectly normal as human being. And that is just your fantasy world. It's different from your reality. Until or unless you decide to act on that fantasy. So some people think about all these things, conjure those mental images, get sexual aroused, and it ends there. And some people take it a step further to actually bring this fantasy into reality. So we're getting somewhere now. So when you move away from just conjuring these images in your head, when you move it to the point where you want to act them out, I still want you to believe that you are still healthy. It is still normal, as long as, and this is where I'm laying a very, very big emphasis, as long as what you want to practice, that sexual fantasy you want to act out, as long as it is healthy, well, they are approached with respect to, and it involved consent of the other person you want to act it with. Number one, healthy. Number two, approach with respect. And number three, it is done with consent of the person you want to act it out with. Those three things are essential. When you step out of these three conditions, wàhálà máa wà. wàhálà á wà. So now let's quickly get down to Yeti's kitchen. When I return, I will go into some of these classes of fantasy that we have. Ibi gan ni màá ti tọwọ́ bọ̀ nǹkan. Ibi lẹ ti máa gbọ́ mìrìmìrì. All I've done before is to prepare your mind and know that nothing is wrong with you. Having sexual fantasies, having sexual thought and all these things are normal because it's inbuilt. You didn't design yourself, you didn't create yourself. It's part of you. So it's perfectly normal. But then when you now take it, or you want to take it further, that's when we put caution to it. And the 3 cautions are: 1, ensure that what you want to do is healthy. 2, approach it with respect. And thirdly, it must be with the consent of the person or the other party you want to carry it out with. Let's get to Yeti's kitchen, and when I come back, we will get into some of these fantasies. I'll be back.
Yeti's kitchen, ilé oúnjẹ àrà ọ̀tọ̀ tó kalẹ̀ sílùú Manchester, chilled out Afro and English fusion bar with great food, music and movies. Kò sí oúnjẹ tẹ́ fẹ́ tẹ́ ò bá lọ́dọ̀ wọn, serving the best fusion of African and English delicacies bíi jollof rice, ẹ̀wà àgànyìn, ẹ̀fọ́ rò, jerk chicken, suya, ayamashi, goat pepper soup, bọ́gà lóríṣiríṣi àti àwọn ọtí ọlọ́kan òjọ̀kan. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ṣe fẹ́ sí ni, eating, take away or delivery gbogbo ẹ̀ ló bá wọn lára mu. Oríṣiríṣi ètò ìgbádùn ni wọ́n ti ṣe lọ́dọ̀ wọn bíi movie night, live jazz music, game night àti yoga play area for children to relax while you eat. Their opening times are Monday to Sunday, 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. Address 299 Liverpool Road, Eccles, Manchester, M130QN. Telephone 0161 706 0062 tàbí 074 603 53448. Ẹ tún lè kàn sí wọn lórí email wọn ní food@yetiskitchen.com. For more information, visit their website www.yetiskitchen.com. Yeti's Kitchen, the best Afro-British restaurant in Manchester.
Yes, so ṣẹ́ẹ̀ṣì wá mẹ́ a fẹ́ wọnú ẹ̀ gan sìn. I've been picking up some comments which are top comments. I love what I'm getting tonight. It shows that many people here are on the same page with me, and I'm not just talking nonsense. Right. All right, let's get to the various types of fantasies that we have. Now, there are several of them, several of them, but we can categorize them into maybe 7 most common fantasies. So under each of these category, I will explain àwọn olówó alábẹ́ category yẹn. Remember, we're talking about sexual fantasies, and we've established that having that thought, building that consciousness, that mental image it's what we all do after we and it's perfectly normal because it's part of who we are as human beings. But then when you now want to act them out, stage yẹn la dancing, you must approach it with respect. You must make sure that it's healthy, and it must be with the consent of the person you want to act it out with. So what are those things that people act out? And everything I'll be mentioning now in this segment are not things that mo kàn rò sọ. They are things people actually do, and many on this platform also have either done it before or are still doing it. Tẹ́ bá máa jẹ́wọ́. So or things that people still want to do, but one way or the other wọn ti liberate ara wọn láti lè sọ pé àmú fẹ́ ṣe. Àwọn tó ń ṣe àwọn tí mo mọ̀ ó pọ̀ ń bí. tó ń ṣe àwọn nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ sọ yìí. So number one, remember I'm breaking them down into 7 like common categories. Lábẹ́ wọn oríṣiríṣi nǹkan pọ̀ ń bẹ, you know. So number one is multi-partner sex. That's a category. It's a sexual fantasy. And let me mention here, this is important, and anybody challenge me on this, challenge me on this. When couples or partners step out of their relationship to cheat, so I said partners, I said couple, because cheating is not gender specific. Men cheat, women cheat. Wọ́n kàn sọ tèèyàn kan jù kan lọ ni. Ọkùnrin tẹ́ ló cheat yẹn náà ṣebí ògiri kan ló dò náà. So men cheat, women cheat. So when either of them step out of a relationship to cheat, they're not going out to have sex. Quote me on this. They're stepping out to fulfill their sexual fantasy. Bó ṣe fẹ́ tọ̀ rí inú ilé yẹn ọ̀tọ̀ rí inú relationship yẹn, bó ṣe bù wọ́n nǹkan tó fẹ́, nǹkan tó desire, nǹkan tó rò lọ́kàn is what they step out to fulfill. They can have sex in that relationship, but it's not sex that they want. They want more than sex, and they're entitled to this. I repeat, everybody is entitled to have a good sexual life, to be sexually fulfilled. Every individual is entitled to it. And that's why when some people are not finding it in the relationship where they are, then they step out to find it elsewhere. So the fourth category we're looking at is what I call the multi-partner sex. And this includes threesomes, this includes having orgies, this includes gangbangs and stuff like that. So threesome is when you have maybe 2 male and 1 female, or you have 2 females and 1 male. Orgies is when ẹ̀kọ́ pọ̀ nínú yàrá yẹn bá di 15 tó ká kù mú pátá títí ẹ̀ tọkàn fọ́ àwọn lẹ́nu lọ nínú bẹ̀yẹn, like wild and crazy sexual environment, and similar to gangbangs, no. Tó máa pọ̀ lórí èèyàn kan, could be 6 or 7 male on 1 female. Now, oftentimes I've heard from reliable sources, from people who are even practicing, who are couples, and then they approach an external person, a third person, to say, can you join us to have sex? Oftentimes ìyàwó gan ló máa bá obìnrin mi sọ̀rọ̀ kó wá, ìgbà mi ó dẹ̀ ìjọkọ ló máa bá obìnrin mi sọ̀rọ̀ tó máa mú obìnrin mi wá. But the key is there is the consent of the 3 of them in that act. Àwọn ọlọ́dẹ mọ nǹkan tí wọ́n ń wá níbẹ̀, tó fi fẹ́ practice irú nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀. So I think it was this one that guy mentioned, that artist mentioned, that he was gonna have a threesome with a mother and daughter, and the mother should be not more than 40 and the daughter should be from 18. And the whole social media went crazy. Now, is he entitled to his sexual fantasy? Absolutely yes. Now, where did he step out of line? He came back later to mention that, no, he mentioned it in that same statement that as long as it's consensual, so that means the mother and daughter will consent to it. Now, where did he step out of line? He stepped out of line to me in two areas. One, this he should have kept to himself. It's personal. Coming on social media to say it, especially when he's such a figure that has or that wields so much influence over other young people, then that is stepping out of line. Because half of the people he has influence over are immature, they are not educated, and anything they just swallow hook, line and sinker. Before you know it now, people will start jumping on mother and daughter and just and this is why people who have such influences over other people should be careful with things that they project. We're not telling them to be forced tipa role model, no, but be careful how you influence people, especially when they are young and when they are uneducated. Then the second part where he went out of line is another category within this category of sexual fantasies. There's a category called taboo activities, and this is a category where, you know, the sexual fantasy you have is or you want to involve in are supposed to be things that are not permitted within the society. You know, they are kind of unusual way of living. Now, I'll break this down. Gbogbo alarm of a fact wípé láyé ta wà ẹ́ àti ọkùnrin tó ti dóyà tó ti dó ọmọ. Èmi ti rí ọkùnrin tó ti dó àbúrò ìyàwó ẹ̀, kò dó nìkan, ó tún fẹ́, ó tún gbalé fún. Ìyàwó tó fẹ́ náà dẹ̀ sì wà nínú, ó sì ń fẹ́ra o, ṣùgbọ́n ó tún fẹ́ àbúrò ìyàwó ẹ̀ náà tó tún gbalé fún. So things are happening, but in a situation whereby this will be done in a threesome setting where the mother and the child will be together on the same bed having sex with the same man, falls under these taboo activities. Àwọn tó fẹ́ ìyá, tó fẹ́ ọmọ, tó fẹ́ àbúrò, tó fẹ́ cousin, tó fẹ́ gbogbo kìíní, tó fẹ́ sister mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ̀rin inú ilé kan, wọ́n ṣe separately ni. Tó yẹ pé àwọn tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí gan ò fẹ́ mọ̀ pé later ló máa mọ̀ pé ó nà wọn náà, ó nà èmi náà, ó fọ́ mi lẹ́nu nǹkan kan mẹ́rin. but in the situation whereby you kó gbogbo wọn jọ ọmọ ìyá kan náà àbí ẹ̀jẹ̀ kan náà kó wọn jọ sínú ibì kan wọ́n wá ń nà wọ́n pọ̀ ń fọ́ wọn lẹ́nu pọ̀ it falls under that taboo category. And these are often fetish fantasies. They are abnormal. Under this same taboo category, we also have what we call paraphilic activities, and these are situations where people get aroused with unusual stuff. Coprophilia bí kéèyàn máa kó máa jẹ̀gbẹ́ kó máa fìgbẹ́ ṣeré kó jẹ́ ìtọ̀ àti gbogbo àwọn nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ló ń arouse ẹlòmíì. So all these things fall under that taboo category. Also under this taboo category also we have what we call voyeurism, where all you are doing is just you get aroused only when you stand where people are having sex life, so you are watching them. Exhibitionism, where people just go about and showing their genitals to random people. Also having interest in underage, on children, also fall under this taboo category. Going about touching people's private without their consent, and because you derive pleasure from it, also fall under this category. Kó wà lórí elevator kó máa fi ara ẹ̀ kó máa fi nu ara ẹlòmíì tó wà lórí elevator ṣáàyè òsì ni ṣé ó yá wèrè ni. So all these things fall under that taboo category. So gbogbo àwọn ọmọ tó ẹni tó máa ń lọ Dubai tó ń kó lọ Dubai tó ń ṣe everything yẹn, àwọn tó invite wọn wà, many of the things they practice with them fall under this taboo category. Coprophilia, wọ́n máa yàgbẹ́ sí wọn lẹ́nu. They put fish into other people's private. Wọ́n ní kọ́ masturbate ràkúnmí, wọ́n máa wò wọ́n. All these things they are borderline of mental sickness. So they are not considered healthy. They are more of psychological issues. But that is not to say people don't practice them. People do them. These are actually the dark side of sexual fantasies. That is the taboo category. Another category that we'll move on to is the power, control, and rough sex. You'll be surprised, people may like come and know. Come mú bẹ́ẹ̀tì jáde báyìí kòbókò come and know ìgbà yẹn ló máa wet. Tẹ bá ń gbọ́ ìchókì ẹlòmíì fẹ́ kọ́ chókì ó báyìí ni. Táwọn ojú kọ̀ọ̀kan tá fẹ́ kú báyìí ìgbà yẹn ló máa tó wet. Power, control, and rough sex. Bondage. Àwọn ẹni ló máa ń lo handcuff. Wọ́n so mọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀dì bí wọ́n so wọ́n bẹ́ẹ̀dì wọ́n so mọ́ wọ́n bẹ́ẹ̀dì bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n so ẹsẹ̀ wọ́n pin ẹ̀ down gbogbo nǹkan tó bá ń ṣe sí apá ẹ̀ ní ká kò dẹ̀ nílé dìde. That is another category of sexual fantasy. Some people love this. This is the only time they will get aroused. kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wọlé kẹ́ jáde kẹ́ ṣàwọn normal kìíní yẹn pé ní wọn ò fẹ́ kíni kíni àwọn nǹkan tó fẹ́ nìyẹn. That is when they get their pleasure. So tó bá jẹ́ pé ẹni tí wọ́n ní nínú ilé onígẹ̀lẹ́ńkẹ́ ni Miliki Express lẹ́sọ̀lẹ́sọ̀ làwọn ń ṣe wo tó bá ti ṣe tán báyìí lọ́ máa mú ìborùn àti gèlè wọn wá láwọn ń lo àwọn ní shift wọ́n ní shift o. Àwọn Peckham boys yẹn àwọn Woolwich boys yẹn àwọn ló ń nà wọ́n. àwọn tó ti fagbó tó ti mùmúkùmù yẹn àwọn ló máa lọ kì wọ́n mọ́lẹ̀ and they get their pleasure from that. Gbogbo bí wọ́n ṣe ṣe wọ́n gbogbo bó ṣe kanlẹ̀ tó yẹ wọ́n lọ ṣe o wọ́n lọ ṣe ń ta gbogbo shift tó máa ń láwọn ní àwọn níyẹn wọ́n lọ shift o ibi tó ti ń ṣe shift yẹn lọ́dọ̀ àwọn ọmọ Woolwich boys yẹn àwọn yẹn ò níṣẹ́ mi lù yìí wọ́n ṣẹ́ lé morning wọ́n ṣẹ́ lé afternoon wọ́n ṣe kankan wọ́n kàn fáyà ni and mostly àwọn ìyàwó ilé ni wọ́n ń nà fáàtì lẹ̀ ń gbọ́ lẹ́nu mi lálẹ́ yìí. So that is another category. We mentioned 3 now, and we also let me also say in this same category we have some men who also practice this power control and rough sex. Kabisi, Marshall. When they get to these women, they ask these women to dominate them. Kó ṣe wọ́n bí ọmọdé wọ́n á de pampers fún wọn wọ́n á fi sọ́kà sí wọn lẹ́nu wọ́n á tẹ́ wọn sọ́wọ́ bí ọmọdé báyìí wọ́n á fi ọwọ́ máa fi gbé ọmú sí wọn lẹ́nu. They like to be dominated. They don't want to be in control. They like to be controlled. They like to be led astray. So these things happen. Tó bá dẹ̀ sọ fún ìyàwó ilé ẹ̀ pé màmá kíní kan ó dẹ̀ bá mi ó dẹ̀ ṣe kíní báyìí fún mi á wà ní pé ó máa àárọ̀ ọjọ́ kejì á pè é pé bàálá yí ẹjọ́ mo fẹ́ bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀gbọ́n yín nǹkan báyìí lọ́mọ àláwọ̀ ṣe ó dà pé a máa pe mọ́mí o kán bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ èmi ò rò pé mo ṣe nǹkan báyìí ní burúkú ti wọnú ẹ̀wọ̀n kan bẹ́ẹ̀ wà ló lè ṣe bàbá dẹ̀ ṣe kí ni á kọ́ lù gbòòrò ayé á lòun ní conference òun ní business meeting ó ti lọ nìyẹn ó bá parí ibi iṣẹ́ ó ń bọ̀. That does not mean he or she will still not have sex at home. They will, but ọkàn wọn ò sí bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n kàn ṣe to fulfil all righteousness ni because they are not gaining anything from it. They will still step out to go and meet people who will, give them this sexual pleasure. So we've mentioned how many now? Multi-partner, taboo, power and control. So we've mentioned 3 now. Now, another one is being a non-monogamous relationship. So I will explain. Many people believe that just one partner is not enough to satisfy their sexual and emotional needs. They absolutely believe that koto no. Let's take an example of Babo Oluwaye that recently announced their divorce. We're told nígbà táwọn èèyàn ń pariwo pé marriage kìíní kan years ó kàn ti break out bó ń ṣe fọ́ lọ́wọ́ tí mò ń wò rè. Because oftentimes when issues come up like this, people just jump and comment, and oftentimes they comment out of ignorance. They comment based on their limited information. ó farabalẹ̀. Ó yẹ kẹ́ ẹ jókòó kẹ́ ẹ ti ẹ̀ wò ó pé láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀pẹ̀ ayé àwọn pípù iná kí ni nǹkan tó ti ń ṣẹlẹ̀. Do you know that this man, despite when he was getting married, one of the conditions he gave to the wife is that he will still be seeing his ex. So he still goes on holiday, they call it boat trip, with the ex. And the wife agreed. That was one of the conditions of their marriage. So ìyẹn wá yẹ yín wípé láti ilẹ̀ marriage yẹn ti jẹ́ bí conditional marriage. So bàbá yẹn sì bá ti wọ́n gbókè ilé ìta fẹ́ ilé ìsìn báyìí ọmọ ilé yóò kò ní làákàyè ó kàn gùdì nínú ilé àti home and everything like that, emotional whatever, but when it comes to intellectual stuff eléyìí ò ní ex mi ẹ̀ ló ní ṣùgbọ́n jàùjàù ní eléyìí ò kò lè tọ́jú lé kò yẹ wà kò dẹ̀ fẹ́ lose lọ́nà méjèèjì because it's a sad thing to be in a relationship with somebody that you are not on the same intellectual frequency with. Ayé kan máa sú ẹ, you want to have certain conversation on wíru ẹni ẹ̀ ń wíru. So I would think this is a kind of situation to bára wọn. And this is why èmi máa ń sọ kéèyàn má tanra ẹ̀ ẹni yóò tanra ẹ̀ ó mọ nǹkan tó ń fẹ́ ló ṣe kíni ló ṣe make arrangement yẹn. But some people will deceive themselves and go into that arrangement but they will go and be seeing that same person lẹ́yìn. But láti ilẹ̀ ó factor gbogbo ẹ̀ pọ̀ so tẹ́ ẹ lọ́rùn màdà ó ló tẹ́ ẹ lọ́rùn okay let's go on. Tó bá dẹ̀ ti ń lọ rí ẹ̀sẹ̀ aṣọ fún pòun ti ń lọ rí lágbájá o wọ́n jọ àjọ mọ́ wọn ní. Now I believe they've gotten now to a point where ọmọ ti dàgbà perspective ti change gbogbo nǹkan kan ti ṣe ẹ̀bẹ̀ yẹn etí wọ́n pa wọ́n pọ̀ láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ gan kò exist mọ́. And this is a marriage of convenience from the start. It's better kó kákù ṣe kíni kó lọ lọ́tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ má fi stress pa mí. Recently náà là ń gbọ́ pé bàbá tó ní side chick gan while along the line ìyẹn ló fà tó fi resign nínú iléeṣẹ́ yẹn and all these things like that. So all these things happen. So I cited that example because just to back up my point that some people believe that one partner is not enough to satisfy their emotional and sexual needs. They want to have more. So like I do define marriage to people. I said marriage to me is like you subscribing to a satellite TV. So wọ́n gbé box yẹn wá wọ́n sọ fún ẹ pé 150 channels ló wà lórí ẹ̀ o iye báyìí ló máa san lóṣù o wọ́n lè fún ẹ remote control ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n sọ fún ẹ pé o gbọ́dọ̀ wò ju BBC One lọ. That is marriage. If I can paint that picture for you like that, then wàá rò dáadáa kó tó marry. 150 channels ló wà lórí nǹkan tó gbé wá fún ẹ wọ́n dẹ̀ gbé remote lé ẹ lọ́wọ́ ṣùgbọ́n you can only watch BBC One. So kò bá jẹ́ program àwọn arúgbó pensioner ni wọ́n ṣe wàdé kó àmàwò náà when a match is going on in another channel, when movie is going on in another channel, you can't tune there. Some people can't live this life, and it is a valid decision. So you must know yourself that no me le gbero aye bayi o I like varieties. Yes, it's a valid choice, and go that route. Má wá sínú ibi tó mọ̀ pé this is what is required, and then kó wá wọ̀ tán kó wá wá pé àṣé báyìí ló tiẹ̀ ṣe rí kó wá lọ máa wò pé you still want to maintain it and still do that rough game outside. Kò ní wọ̀ o fẹ́ máa jí channel ìkún yẹn wò. So for people who think no they must have more than one, the one person is not enough for them, then they also fall into this category. It's a sexual fantasy. having more than one partner. So we have polygamy, which is common in Elamo. Being married to more than one partner at the same time. Oftentimes is a partner of the opposite sex. So ọkùnrin tó níyàwó mẹ́ta tó níyàwó mẹ́rin and stuff like that. So that is polygamy. We have polyamory. It's different from polygamy. The difference is that this time around you are having multiple partners at the same time. So, and the partners are not restricted to opposite sex alone. So bó ṣe ní partner obìnrin ló ní partner ọkùnrin, ó fẹ́ gbogbo wọn, ó ṣáà ní gbogbo wọn láyìíká ẹ̀ ni. You are in a relationship with all of them at the same time. It's not marriage, it's partnership, both male and female. So that's polyamory. And then we have some people who are in open relationship. So they're married to a particular person, but the two of them agree that, you know what, you can see somebody else if you want. But in this situation, communication is key, and openness. Communication and openness is key in this type of arrangement. All these things I'm mentioning are valid choices that people have come to make, because at the end of the day, when you break that marriage to pieces, it's like bondage. Tọkàn torí èèyàn bọ̀, tọkàn torí èèyàn bọ̀ wà kàn wà ń bẹ̀ sáà for the rest of your life. Wọ́n gba ẹlòmíì lójú, wọ́n gba ẹlòmíì nímú, ibẹ̀ náà ni. Wọ́n jí lójoojúmọ́ sọ̀rọ̀ burúkú sẹ́lòmíì, ibẹ̀ náà ni. So some people have come to a point they say no, this is not for me. Now I won't live this kind of sad life. I want to be free. I want to be open. I want to enjoy my life. I don't want to be in a cage. I don't want to be in a bondage. And then they decide to do what? Pick this option. And there are people around who are also looking for options like this. So why jọ pàdé? But if you want to live this kind of life, ìwọ fẹ́ gbé ayé ó fẹ́ play game peck and go, wá lọ pàdé ẹni tó ń play peck and stay, àwọn ti jam àgbákò. So by the time tó bá introduce eléyìí sí aṣọ fún pé no, òun ò lè ṣe o, is against clinical, so you are stuck there. So from the start, that's why I said know yourself, know what you want, and then go in search of people who fall into the same category of what you want. Ìgbà yẹn ló ṣe lè gbé ayé tó nítumọ̀. Many people are matched wrongly. Yeah, what about normal fantasy like striptease, dressing up? Yeah, I'm coming there. Yes, I'm coming there. All the examples are too extreme. They're not extreme, you know. You know, yeah, I'm coming to that one you mentioned. You know. So another category of sexual fantasy is the one I call passion, romance and intimacy. So this one simply is you just finding somebody that you are just emotionally and sexually connected with. It's about nothing else other than just that connection between the two of you, feeling loved, being appreciated, what you desire is what the other person desires, and things like that. That is not hard to find, and this you can only get it if you are open about what you want. If you are open about what you want, you discuss ibẹ̀ wàá ti mọ̀ báyẹ̀ ni meet desire ẹ, báyọ̀ match nǹkan tó ń wá àbí kò match ẹ. Another one is gender bending. Only àwọn cross dressers, they are male but they like to dress as female. They are female but they like to dress as male. And then some push this to a point where they actually change their gender completely. They cut off their female part and have the male done to it. I've worked in that hospital for 3 years where they do sex change. I saw it, I know about it, I know what goes on there. Where they change female to male. I've witnessed it, I've seen it. My role permitted me to even purchase some of all these things that they use to carry out this operation. So, from gender bending, Lotiberi, because they think they are trapped in the wrong body. And today it's getting to a point where people now go about with the different pronouns. Wọ́n jẹ́ she, wọ́n jẹ́ he mọ́. They are now called they. Èèyàn kan jáwà dancing. They don't no longer want to be boxed up in a particular. They don't want to carry one gender tag. We've seen gyms that are introducing changing rooms that are no longer male or female, it's just changing room. We've seen schools that are introducing toilet where it's just toilet, it's not male toilet or female toilet. Things are changing. People are questioning things, and the more they question, the more they unearth things that, you know, this shouldn't be. And then they begin to change, they change things. Also, we have what I call gender swap. Some men, when they get to ibi tó ti fẹ́ lọ ṣe nǹkan, they dress up. One wore lingerie, one wore G-string, one wore bra. They enjoy it. Òun ló mú mọ́ nǹkan tó fi délé lálẹ́. Láàárọ̀ ọjọ́ kejì tó máa múra nígbà tó fẹ́ múra ń pò lọ bí iṣẹ́ ni ìyàwó ẹ̀ mi gbà. Dáàdì láyé kí ló wà ń dìyìn? Dáàdì láyé G-string kọ́ lẹ́wọ̀ ẹ́ ni. Kò bọ́ tó fi wálé o. Ó ti gbàgbé. So all these things happen. And then the one my sister talked about, striptease and everything like that, it's under exhibitionism, where you just like to sit. It's not, you don't even want to have sex with that person. Can you come and bore and show you? Come and take layers after layers after layers of aṣọ off one by one. that fi bottom is what gives some people that sexual fulfillment. It's not the penetration. Sex or sexual fulfillment is not always about dido. There are other things that get you high, that get you up and get you to that point where you're satisfied sexually, you know. So that also happened. It's called striptease. Wọ́n ṣe lé ní lórí Instagram live gbogbo gba lockdown yẹn nǹkan tó kún ta nìyẹn. Many people today have OnlyFans account and they're making money. It's not cheap. You sign up, you subscribe to all these things. ọmọ àmà wa lójoojúmọ́ àmà bọ́ra lójoojúmọ́ àmà gbowó tiẹ̀ ìbí fẹ́ máa wò kó bọ́ pátá ni abọ́ pátá á tún wọ̀ padà ó ti cash out ń tiẹ̀. They do it. They do all kind of things. All these things are happening. Even lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wa ń bẹ̀ yẹn ní àwọn tó ń gbé island yẹn, they do swinging where wàá kàn pé labour ẹ̀ ń pé wà jẹ́ ká exchange ìyàwó fún weekend, so ìyàwó lè máa lọ bẹ̀ ìyàwó lè máa wá bí, or they meet, you know, in hotel and things like that, and they exchange partners. It's called swinging. In Holland ń bẹ̀ wọ́n níbi tó yẹ pé wàá máa yọjú báyìí ni, ìwọ ló mú ìyàwó lọ o, wàá wá mú ìyàwó ẹ̀ wọnú yàrá yẹn, wàá tilẹ̀kùn, wàá bọ́ sójú window, wàá máa wò bọ́ ṣe ń bá ìyàwó ẹ̀ sùn. That's how some people find sexual pleasure. All these things exist. Some people, they fantasize about having sex with strangers, people they don't know before, just random people. Some, they fantasize about having sex with celebrities. They look at all these celebrities and important people. That's why you have stalkers. I don't pay stalkers. That's why you have people don't pay ní kí wọ́n máa ń pè àwọn ọmọ yìí náà àwọn ọmọ tí àtàwọn olórin yẹn kọ́ máa fi ń panu yẹn orúkọ ẹ̀ kìíní ẹ̀ ti sápá mi lórí sí groupies. You know, you see them hanging around where celebrities are. They get that sexual feeling from, you know, having sex with important people. Some people is about going back to their ex. They like to have sex with ex, and there's a law called Okafor's law. Once debe, always debeni. So it's easy, especially for exes tó yẹ pé kì í fọ́ra yín lójú, fọ́ra yín ní mú tẹ́ fi kúrò. I've witnessed a scene lálẹ́ where a couple that they've divorced and married separately again, wọ́n sì tún collabo. From their conversation àti gbogbo nǹkan tí mo rí tán ṣe òun ló jẹ́ kí n mọ̀. I took my time. So all these things happen. So like I said, we can't shy away from these things. There are few ones you will consider extreme. That is to you. It is not extreme to some other people. And the ones we refer to as taboo is because of the law of the land, like committing incest, having sexual intercourse or sexual relationship with minor and children, pedophilia and all these things. They are taboo because the society frowns at them. And if you are caught engaging in them, the law will not be merciful on you. Apart from sending you to prison, your name will be on the sex offender register. Tó kẹ́ bá yẹ ti wọ̀ yẹn, kò sí nǹkan tó ń dúró ṣe láyé mọ́. You are like an outcast. Òǹgbélé ayé ṣùgbọ́n ayé ò fẹ́ bá ẹ ṣe mọ́. So the koko of our discussion tonight is that sexual fantasy is normal because sexual feelings is in it. Adawa money. Now, when you have this sensual fantasy, build this image in your head and reach and give yourself that sensual fulfillment and whatever, normal. When you now want to take this step further to actually act out what you've conjured in your head, that is when care needs to be exercised. This is when you have to ensure that what you are engaging yourself in is healthy. So for example, lára àwọn tẹ́ consider the extreme yẹn náà ni anal sex wà. Some people want to have sex through their bum bum. Iwájú ti sú wọn, ẹ̀yìn ló fẹ́ gbà wọlé. Some want to have sex with same partner. Some they want oral, not even penetration. Now they want to use their hand. They have what they call fisting. They have what they call using toys. They have kinky sex and all these things, where you have all kind of stimulating toys and all these things. So all these things exist. Àwọn kan dẹ̀ wà gbogbo ilẹ̀ mọ àwọn ṣé Singapore àbí Indonesia massage parlours yìí ni. And there are other massage parlours where, you know, people just go there. They like to be touched. They like other people's hand to go over their body. And at the start they will ask you, ìkọ́kọ́ wà tó ń pè ní happy ending. Tó bá ti feel happy ending mọ́ massage tó búùkù fún. Máa tó bá mọ̀ tó mọ̀ happy ending béèrè o. Tó bá ti feel happy ending mọ́, ọ̀gbẹ́ni tó wá fọwọ́ ra ní gbogbo ẹ̀yìn tó spoon gbogbo ẹ̀yìn ẹ̀yìn tán, tó bá yá á yí ẹ sójú o. Á dẹ̀ fọ́ ẹ lẹ́nu. That is what is called happy ending. It's sex after the massage. You know? So now, how do we go about this thing? Especially for maybe people who are single. The only thing they need to, you know, be conscious of is those two things I mentioned. Make sure it's healthy what you are doing. Approach it with respect, not in a condescending manner. And thirdly, ensure that you have the consent of the person you are practicing it with. But then when it comes to people who are married, partners, who are already in a relationship and they want to fulfill these sexual fantasies. How do they go about it? Number one is discussion. Discuss it with your partner. Because when you want to have threesome, you must tell your partner. Lágbájá jẹ́ ká pe ẹni báyìí wá. Ọ̀rẹ́ yẹn mo láìkí ẹ̀ mo wá kójú ẹ̀ níwà. Báyọ̀ mọ́ náà ló máa ní bàbá láì ẹ jẹ́ kí ọkùnrin kiri jọ ìwà náà káà mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta kájọ kòlábò. It's entirely up to you. Have the discussion. People do it. That they don't come out to announce it doesn't mean people are not doing it. They immediately agree. It's up to you. So anyone you want to fulfill, it starts with discussion. It starts with discussion. Sister Sarah says hot slap loading for where? Well, it's all down to open-mindedness. You know? Yeah, some partners want their partners to make noise, moan, groan, and talk dirty. Yes, overlead. Ìyẹn náà wà tó bá dẹ̀ lóò ṣe pé dandan ó máa dákẹ́ ni wọ́n á lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ tó máa gbin tà wọ́n á lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ tá máa gbin wọ́n ní kó gbin olóòní gbin ókè dákẹ́ máa gbé mi you know wọ́n lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ tó máa gbin tà àwọn kan kò mind to collabo with Alaki. Baba bóyá lẹ mọ̀ if the price is right kí ló fi ń ṣèyàn ẹgbẹ́ wa o kí náà máa gbé wa kan bu epo fèmí gan mu then 2, establish boundaries before acting out any sexual fantasies. Kó má bàa gbàgbé lọ. Tó bá pé oní àǹkọ́fù ló fẹ́ practice kẹ́ ẹ tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sọ fún o pé tó bá ti rí tójú mi ti ràn kankan stop o tó bá ti di ọwọ́ ẹ tó ti di ọwọ́ ẹ mọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ tó ti di ẹsẹ̀ mọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ wàá tó máa ṣe wàá rò pé ó dùn mọ́ ẹni ó dẹ̀ ti fẹ́ jáde láyé. àwọn ọ̀hún ti ń ṣẹ́wọ́ sí ẹ báyìí pé máa bọ̀ wọ́n ti ń wawọ́ sí àwọn grandma àwọn grandpa tó ti lọ tipẹ́ ti ń wawọ́ sí ẹ pé máa bọ̀ káàbọ̀ máa bọ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀ ṣe ń dùn yẹn ẹni tí bí yẹn rò pé ó ń dùn mọ́ ẹni. So before you start set boundaries pé tó bá ti rí pé mi lè mí délẹ̀ mọ́ tó ti stop. Kó má bàa gbàbẹ̀ lọ gbogbo àwọn choke me tó bá ti choke yẹ ti sọ fún pé when you choke me to point torí pé I'm going cold stop check my pulse kó má choke yẹ to death. So anything you want to do, set boundaries from the start. So that ẹni ṣeré ṣe wò. Now also I see a point here. On a serious note, marriage is holy institution. How can you be discussing threesome and all these strange fantasies? Some things should stay fantasies and never be acted out. Okay. From the start, I made the differentiation. Fantasies mental image that gets you aroused and give you sexual pleasure. Acting it out is the second step that people, proceed to. Now, when we say marriage is holy institution, you are talking only from your religious and cultural perspective. Say that to an Oyibo person and you are talking, mama wò pé kí lẹ́ni sọ. Kóyìnbó tó marry sometimes wọ́n ti bímọ mẹ́rin. Meanwhile, you are coming from an angle that says the bed must be undefiled. Àbá àlọ́ yìí sọ. You don't touch yourself before marriage. Tó bá marry tán, wàá rí pé ẹni yẹn sìn ó ní erectile dysfunction. Wàá rí pé bí wọ́n tiẹ̀ ṣe fẹ́ kọ́ ló ń ṣe. At that moment you are in it. So when we say forsaking all other parts, do you know that people write their own vows? See, I keep saying it. Oftentimes we say things from our own perspective, from our own views alone, from things that we were told, from things that we were taught, from things that we know. The moment you are ready to let down your guard and look outside what you know, ẹ máa rí pé ayé ò pín síbì kan. Oftentimes many of us live like a fish in an aquarium. Wọ́n bá tanná síbẹ̀, wọ́n gbin àwọn artificial grass síbẹ̀, ó swing from one end of the glass to the other. Ó rò pé bẹ́ẹ̀ láyé parí sí. Until they take that fish out of that aquarium and drop that fish in an ocean. Ìgbà yẹn láàrin wípé omi ju omi lọ, láàrin wípé ẹja ju ẹja lọ, láàrin wípé ayé tún pé méjì. People today write their own vows. Their weddings I've attended where for better for worse was omitted from me. The regular vows temanka are the ones, they are the standard template. The Church of England did it call. People today write their own vows. They write things that they agree to live by. This is a personal journey. It's still the same mentality that makes some people want to die in abusive marriage. For better, for worse, stay there and make it work. Titi wọ́n máa fi kú sínú bẹ̀. So it is an institution where two consenting adults are going into with an understanding that this is how we want to live. Culturally, religiously, there are things that we consider out of bounds. You're entitled to that. It's your belief, it's what you believe in, it's how you want to live. But some people get to a point where ó tiẹ̀ ti sú wa, àwọn méjì àkànwá bí kí là ń ṣe gan ó ti boring kankan mẹ́rin. Let's spice things up. They sit down and have this discussion and they consent to it. Where problem ti máa exist ni if one party wants it and the other don't, then it should not be carried out. They should not go ahead with it. And if you insist you want to then break down this existing relationship, then go and live your life as a single person. So discussion, communication is important. Many people are sad today because they are living their lives on template. template táwọn ẹlòmíì build. The people who wrote out all these things, when you go into history and see the kind of life tó gbé, many of them are pedophiles. But wọ́n kọ́ síbẹ̀ sínú ìwé fẹ́yìn pé ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ bọ́wọ́ kékeré sùn, but wọ́n practice it. I don't want to start mentioning names kó lè má fa wàhálà sí ọrùn Yeti's Kitchen. But go there and search. All the people who put all these things together for you did not live this life. So many people are living on other people's templates. Láyé ṣe dàbí ìpò nira. But for people who are ready to, you know what, we have to make this existence a happy one for ourselves. Then they sit down and have a discussion. It is the same thing while I said at the start, we should build the background, we build the BNP. Many of us today, we do things today not out of conviction, but just because of this fear of heaven and hell. This òfin máṣu mátọ̀ lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ fún gbélé ayé kì í ṣe pé báyà wà convinced about nǹkan tá à ń ṣe gan. But for people who have transcended this level, for people who have set themselves free from all this bondage and boundaries and are ready to live their own life the way they wish to live it, the way they feel they are happy, they don't believe all these things. And as long as they don't violate the law of the land, as long as they don't infringe upon the right of other people, their choices are valid. For example, see, I mention exhibitionism here. Part of it is people who want to have sex in open places, in parks. And if you are against that, indecent exposure. Wọ́n nígbà yín láàyè. Human, we have tendency to be reckless. So tí o bá sófin tó put wa in check, a ti máa dáná sun ayé yìí, ayé àti bàjẹ́. So gbogbo òfin yìí ti religion, gbogbo òfin yìí ti ìlú, gbogbo òfin yìí ti world or whatever, òfin o no put boundaries, o no put wa in place. So they ask, oh, come and share sex and everything. Do you know this why don't come and share sex? It's because children that you give birth to would have some genetic disease or the other. It's scientific. But then you ask question, let's say in the Bible, one Adam and Eve, wọ́n bímọ, wọ́n bí kí ni wọ́n pè Kénà níbẹ̀, kí ni pa Abel. From there ẹjọba ni ayé ṣe populate, and the Bible says and they have other children. Àwọn olùgbòmí wo ló bára wọn sùn and stuff like that. So I don't want to go into all that, but the moment we are able to sit down and ask questions, gbogbo kìíní náà ṣe ṣẹ̀wá, ẹ máa rí loopholes. One question will lead you to another research, another research will lead you to another knowledge, another knowledge will lead you to another knowledge. But oftentimes we are not ready to unlearn. Ìtààmú yẹn náà la fẹ́ mọ̀, because nígbà tó ń build kìíní sínú wa, wọ́n build it into our emotions ni. So we feel guilty when we want to change the narrative, when we want to drop these things and learn new things. We start feeling guilty. Bí ìpá ti ṣe nǹkan burúkú. Is that force of conditioning. So you must get to a level where you will detach your emotions if you want to learn about things. Be open. Read more than the Bible. Look beyond your cultural setting and people. Don't tighten up your mind. Be open-minded. Learn, hear, speak to people. Find out why people do what they do. With that, you will have more exposure. You'll be able to some things you will come across will send you in search of deeper knowledge, and you'll be amazed things that you will come up with. But when you are in your bubble alone and you only believe things you've been told from the start, and you just condition your life only to that. I'm not saying anything is wrong with that, but it will be wrong for you to use your own perspective alone as a standard to judge other people. It's wrong. So I'm talking on this platform across board. I'm not talking to Christians or Muslim or what. I'm talking to human beings, regardless of your religious beliefs. I'm only telling you the right thing, the truth, what exists, what is happening. If you now want to compartmentalize this according to your religious belief or whatever, it's entirely up to you. But if I do that as a host of this show, then I'm being biased. I'm still doing the same thing they've done to us from the start, which is not my intention on this show. My intention on this show is to stir up your mind, is to liberate people, is to open up, is to unearth things, is to say things that people would consider taboo and not want to dare talk about. But also in saying all these things, I will balance my statement, which I've done, while letting you know that these things are valid. I've also mentioned areas where they are extreme, they are considered taboo, and then you can run foul of the law. And also you can contract disease. So my own life is all about people being well informed and knowing the consequences of their action. Ibi tí ṣe tèmi parí sí ni ibi tèmi dẹ́ believe pé yẹ kí a máa sin ẹ̀dá dé nìyẹn. Don't make people's mind up for them. Don't make decisions for people. Give them balanced information. Let them understand choice and consequences, and leave them to their own life. Leave them to their own life. When people understand the principle of choice and consequences, people will make conscious decisions. About nǹkan délẹ̀ dáadáa, wàá mọ̀ pé òkè màá ṣe lè mi ní ṣe lè, àbí ibi ni màá ṣe lè dé, mi ò ní ṣe lè dé bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. You know? So I've got 2 hours, man. I don't even know how that is possible. 2 hours. The boss says sex is more than physical activity and goes beyond that. Some people carry bad spirit, either I believe it or not. Therefore, I will not say because I want some silly fantasy, I'll be sleeping with every dick and Harry. But then it's a matter of choices. Some people you're having sex with, you don't know where they have been sexually there. You go there thinking you're satisfied fantasy. You're taking a risk. Our lives are healthy. That's it. This is a valid point. This is a valid point. When you can think like this, it limits how you jump from bed to bed. Because people don't go about with the kind of sickness they carry on their forehead. nígbà tó bá wọlé tán tó kọlẹ̀ tán tó dà tán tó yọ tó gbó tó ṣe everything lórí okó àmà kan tó báyìí ní gbogbo ara yòókù máa tutù lókù ẹ̀ka máa dágbóná. Ó ti kó jombo nìyẹn. ní wàá fẹ́ tọ̀ wàá máa gbé ó ti kó jombo nìyẹn. bọ́tọ̀ bá rò ó tẹ́lẹ̀ láti lẹ̀ wàá mọ̀ pé òbọ̀ àmọ́ tó wà lára ẹni yìí kólú ẹ̀ má lọ lárí mọ́ kólú ẹ̀ má lọ lárí mọ́ àmọ́ ibi tó ti ń dàbọ̀ o kólú ẹ̀ má lọ já síbi tí ò yẹ kó já sí o. Yorùbá bọ̀ wọ́n ní ikú tí ó pòmùwẹ̀ ń bẹ nínú omi, ikú tí ó poní ṣìnà ń bẹ ní pàlàpọ̀ ló tán ẹ̀. Like I said, I've said it before on this show, we do things for two reasons: pain and pleasure. So, if all you think about is the pleasure you want to derive from the sexual activity, and you don't consider the pain of the disease you can contract, then you've not balanced your view. Wàá kàn máa lọ ní. But when you put the two on a scale, wọ́n bá ń pẹ́ ó dẹ̀ wò mí kí n fàyà ọmọ yìí o wù mí wàá ti wù pé gbé nípò ẹ̀dá nígbà tí n bá ra nípò yẹn báyìí wàá ti ru gbogbo ẹ̀ ó ti iyọ̀ rẹ̀ ó ti ṣọ́ ìṣeéṣe pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. But when you think of àmọ́ nǹkan tó wà lára ẹ̀ báyìí kó lù ẹ̀ má lọ kó nǹkan àmọ́ jàre. We begin to consider other things beyond that pleasure. Wàá kàn rí wípé to carry out that act akọ̀ra máa reduce lọ́kàn ẹni tó yà wàá kàn sọ pé wo kó lè wá jàre kó lè kúkú jọ kó wà níbi tó wà. And some people think nurse Bisi tí n bá ń parọ́ please já mi o. Some people think it's only through penetration that you can contract STDs. No. Tọ́mọ bá fún ẹ ní rẹ́ẹ̀dì lásán bá fún ẹ nọ́dé lásán from saliva o lè kó STD o. If I'm lying, not busy, please put it there that I'm lying. So lè wò pé okay àkànní àní penetrate mi ní jẹ́ kó mi ní wọbẹ̀ mi ní jẹ́ kó bọ̀ tó bá fún ẹ nọ́dì lásán o lè kó nǹkan láti bí nọ́dì from that saliva. So ẹ̀yin tó dẹ̀ sọ fún náà pé kọ́ bá ẹ̀sùn láti fùrọ̀ tó kó sáfẹ́ certify nìyẹn wọ́n gbẹ̀yìn wọlé. Mi ò mọ̀ bó ṣe ń ṣèyàn torí mi ì ṣe rí, ṣùgbọ́n tí díẹ̀ bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí jò láti bẹ̀ ó kù sí ẹ lọ́wọ́. Pampers àgbàlagbà kúkú wà, ó bá ti kó kọ́kọ́ wọ pampers kó wá wọ pátá lé kó gbé jíǹsì ẹ lé kó máa bá yí ẹ yí bẹ́ẹ̀. Ẹ̀yẹn náà wà òkè oríṣiríṣi ni. So you have to consider your health before you pick any of these options kí tiẹ̀ má bàa bá ẹ. Wọ́n ní tó bá kọ wájú sí ẹ kó o ta, tó bá kẹ̀yìn sí ẹ kó o ta, tó bá kù wọn nìkan kó tẹ́rọ ara ẹ̀ pa. there is one I wanted to mention tí mo gbàgbé mo ṣe ìrántí nsìn for couples who are having boring sexual life and who consider seeing a therapist or watching porn as a sin. Ara yín lè ń ṣe o. You people should be able to sit down and have a conversation. Wá madam bí n ṣe ń fẹ́ rí kí madam náà sọ fún ẹ pé bó o ṣe ń fẹ́ rí. Kẹ́ méjèèjì kẹjọ lọ kọ́ kẹjọ lọ learn. Ìwé wà, fídíò sí wà. It's your bedroom. If you need to spice things up, spice them up. There are several sexual toys. Anything you are comfortable with. The key is you guys must agree to whatever you want to do. Listen to yourselves in bed. Kẹjọ bára yín sọ̀rọ̀. Stepping out to go and find it elsewhere shouldn't be the first option, because kó má lọ kàgbákò. Àdé tó ṣe tó ń tàwa tó padà wálé ó tún lè kó báyìí tó wà nílé náà. Wọ́n ní ìyàwó tó ń yànlè bí ò para ẹ̀ yóò pọ̀kọ̀. The same thing náà pẹ̀lú ọkọ tó ń yànlè bí ò para ẹ̀ á pàyàwó. So tó bá ti wá gbìyànjú agbára ẹ̀ tó ṣe gbogbo nǹkan tó sọ gbogbo ẹ̀tọ́ tẹ́ni tó tọ́bọ̀n tó lóun ò ní kò ṣáà ní change ṣá gbogbo ẹ̀ ṣáà bọ́rì gbogbo ẹ̀ kàn ṣáà ríra dáradá ṣá ó kàn ṣáà súyàn ṣá. Tí n bá wà nù situation yẹn o, I'm not telling you what to do, èmi lèmi ń sọ o. Màá pe ẹni yẹn jókòó máa dẹ̀ sọ fún intention mi. Mi ò gbádùn kíní mọ́ o. Mò ń wá ìgbádùn tèmi lọ. So ẹ bá gbọ́ pé àwọn alágbájá kan ní girlfriend kan ṣe kiri kan, mò ń sọ fún ẹ ní ìsinyìí, mò ń announce officially. Àti bá ẹ sọ títí o gbọ́ o change o. Mo dẹ̀ lè máa bá báyìí lọ. Tèmi lèmi ń sọ yẹn o. So mi ì ní yọ ṣe, màá sọ̀rọ̀ síta. I will not go about it in an arrogant way or whatever. Kí n máa fi la lójú or anything. I will still show respect. But màá wá ìdùnnú mi lọ́ta. Màá dẹ̀ tẹ́ra mi lọ́rùn. Or màá máa tẹ́ra mi lọ́rùn. Èmi náà mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé mo like ara mi. Màá make sure wípé mi ò kárùn. Mo protect ara mi. Torí mi náà ò fẹ́ fẹ̀mí ara mi wéwu. I don't live reckless life. So bẹ́ẹ̀ni àṣeṣe nìyẹn. But before that, èèyàn láti make every effort to ensure that èèyàn improve nǹkan. So I urge partners to listen to themselves, to be ready to work on things. Gbogbo nǹkan tó ń fa wàhálà yìí, àwọn nǹkan tá a lè wá solution sí fúnra ara wa ni. Ṣùgbọ́n tí ọ̀kan bá kàn ṣáà ti stubborn, tí ọ̀kan bá ṣáà ti lórí òun ṣáà yí ṣá, òun ló máa ń fa wàhálà. But why are you guys in a relationship tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá ready àti bára yín sọ̀rọ̀, tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá ready àti just share views, kẹjọ ní open discussion. Why are you in a relationship? I don't just get it. I can't be in a relationship with somebody that I can't talk to. Kò work. I should be able to talk to you. You should be able to hear. You should be able to listen. Not listen from the point in pé báyà mo condemn or anything, but listen from the perspective pé mo fẹ́ ká improve lórí nǹkan báyìí. And you also should be able to tell me the same thing. Kẹ́mi náà dẹ̀ gbọ́ kí n dẹ̀ reason pẹ̀lú nǹkan tó ń sọ, so that a lè jọ rọrùn fún àwa méjèèjì. Otherwise, the two of us will be in an unhappy relationship. Ẹ kàn máa share marriage photo lọ́dọọdún, wọ́n máa kí yín congratulations, happy married life, wọ́n máa ṣe kinní kan. Inú ẹ̀ méjèèjì ò dẹ̀ dùn nínú ibi tẹ́ wà. Irú ayé wo nìyẹn? You should not pretend to be happy. You should actually be happy. I would not want to take too much of your time. It's been 2 solid hours on this show. I thank everyone for staying with me up till this time, and I hope I've been able to, maybe not do justice to the topic, but at least touched it up a bit. And I've been able to maybe relieved some of you of the burden you've been carrying regarding this particular issue. I know it will take a bit of time for people to adjust, because ogun tó fi bíi 30 years gbé sínú ayé èèyàn, ìṣòro alẹ́ ọjọ́ kan ò lè yanjú ẹ̀ o. The conditioning that many of us have gone through for years, 2-hour show is not enough to set you free. It can only set you on that path of freedom. That is, if you are ready to continue the journey from there. But ibi tí ṣe tèmi parí sílé ni rẹ̀. Thank you for staying with me up till this time. Until we meet next week Friday for another discussion. Mi ò ní fi kankan nu yín ṣàwátì o. Èmi á máa wá, ẹ̀yin náà máa máa dé bá o. Ojú òní tì yín. Thank you for all those who contributed tonight, and for those who are just listening. Ìbàjẹ́ ayé òní kan yìí o. Mami, Mr. Sarah, eléyìí gan ju vigil lọ. Ẹ̀yin gan èyí sọ wípé ṣé ńlá gan kọ́ la ṣe lálẹ́ yìí. Ẹ ti ń gbàdúrà ti pé Ọlọ́run ti gbọ́ yẹn náà. Ọlọ́run ti gbọ́ yẹn náà. Ṣùgbọ́n eléyìí náà kókó ni. Ìgbà míì prayer gan kọ́ la need, action la need. Àbá ń gbàdúrà gbàdúrà kọ́lọ́ sọ̀kalẹ̀ fún ara rẹ̀ kó wá máa ṣe kinní fún wa ni. Ọlọ́run ṣe gbogbo kinní bẹ́ẹ̀. Àwọn la máa wá solutions fún ara wa. So thank you once again. A máa tún pàdé ní ọ̀sẹ̀ tó ń bọ̀. Apologies for taking your time. I spent 30 minutes of almost 40 minutes outside our time. Ẹ má bínú o, ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ló dà pé wọ̀ mí lára díẹ̀. It's a bit silent on the show tonight, but I expected it. Ada fún gbogbo wa o. Thank you very much. Very live story. Auntie Kemi divorced a month after my cause. The husband is not tell her he had to from he was a pastor. You see, things like this happen. Things like this happen. Which Kemi man, the one we all know. Tiagbo no Daroko. things happen, you know. Things happen. Yes, thank you very much. Oh, that be my love, I'm in love with you. Let me leave you guys. We'll meet again next week. The show will always be there. You can, you know, in your spare time, watch again and but everything is all about mindset. Take charge of your mindset. Take back control of your mindset. Whoever controls your mind controls you. Take back the control of your mind. That is the only way you can be liberated. Hero Odaro.
Yeti's Kitchen, ilé oúnjẹ àrà ọ̀tọ̀ tó kalẹ̀ sílùú Manchester, chilled out Afro and English fusion bar with great food, music and movies. Kò sí oúnjẹ tẹ́ fẹ́ tẹ́ ò bá lọ́dọ̀ wọn, serving the best fusion of African and English delicacies bíi jollof rice, ẹ̀wà àgàn, ẹ̀fọ́ rò, jerk chicken, suya, ayamashi, goat pepper soup, bọ́gà lóríṣiríṣi àti àwọn ọtí ọlọ́kan òjọ̀kan bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ṣe fẹ́ sí ni eating, take away or delivery gbogbo ẹ̀ ló bá wọn lára mu. Oríṣiríṣi ètò ìgbádùn ni wọ́n sì ń ṣe lọ́dọ̀ wọn bíi movie night, live jazz music, game night àti yoga play area for children to relax while you eat. Their opening times are Monday to Sunday, 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. Address 299 Liverpool Road, Eccles, Manchester, M130QN. Telephone 0161 706 0062 tàbí 074 603 53448. Ẹ tún lè kàn sí wọn lórí email wọn ní food@yetiskitchen.com. For more information, visit their website www.yetiskitchen.com. Yeti's Kitchen, the best Afro-British restaurant in Manchester.
For sure.